Hello, grade 9 students. We're now through discussing the introduction to quadratic functions. We learned how to describe a quadratic function based on its graph and tables of values. Now let us continue our discussion on quadratic functions. Let us describe the properties of quadratic function. Milk. Graph a quadratic function. A. Domain. B. Range. Intercepts. Axis of symmetry. Vertex. Direction of the opening of the parabola. That's the most essential learning competency. Learning objectives. Number 1, identify the different properties of a quadratic function. And number 2, sketch the graph of the given quadratic function. Properties of quadratic functions. Given y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. So for the vertex, the coordinates of the vertex of a quadratic function, hk, it's called the turning point of the parabola and also the highest point or the lowest point of the graph. So when you say highest point, that means the parabola opens downward. Okay, and when you say it's the lowest point, the parabola opens upward. Right. So here's the formula in finding the vertex of a parabola given the quadratic function. For h, kasi hk yan eh. For h, negative b over 2a. For k, 4a minus b squared over 4a. Okay? All you have to do is to memorize h negative b over 2a, k 4a minus b squared all over 4a. Okay, another property of quadratic function is the domain. Domain is a set of all permissible values of the independent variable. So always the domain for the quadratic function is the set of all real numbers R. Okay. How about the range? Range is the set of all permissible values of the dependent variable. Okay. So for a range, y is greater than or equal to k when a is greater than 0. Y is less than or equal to k when a is less than 0. Okay, ano ba tong a na yan? A is the variable of x squared in the quadratic function. So when a is positive, y is greater than or equal to k, whatever the value of k is. And when a is negative, here, if a is negative here, that means it opens downward. If a is positive, it opens upward. So when a is negative, also the range is y is less than or equal to k. Okay, remember that. Axis of symmetry is equal to the equation x is equal to k. So whatever you solve for the value of k, equate it to x, that is the axis of symmetry. Parang ano to, axis of symmetry serves as the mirror of the parabola. Opening, that's what I said a while back. When a is positive or greater than 0, the parabola opens upward, and when a is less than 0, the parabola opens downward. Okay, you can screenshot on this part to memorize the properties of quadratic function. Next, other parts of the parabola. What are the other parts of the parabola? We have here x-intercept is the x-coordinate of the intersection of the parabola and the x-axis. Okay, kung saan magta-touch yung parabola sa x-axis, yun yung kanyang x-intercept. So, so the parabola can touch the x-axis once or twice. How about the y-intercept? Y-coordinate of the intersection of the parabola and the y-axis. Okay. And axis of symmetry, the vertical line through the vertex of the parabola. That serves as the mirror for the graph. Zeros are actually the x-intercepts of the parabola. So whatever the x-intercept here, they are also what we call the zeros of the quadratic function. So we have here the figures. Parabola that opens upward. Okay. The x-intercepts are negative 1 and 3. Diba? This is the vertex at 1, -4. And this is the y-intercept, the point of intersection between the parabola and the y-axis, -3. And this is the x-axis of symmetry. X is equal to h. X is equal to h pala dapat yun, not k. There is a correction here. Axis of symmetry parabola should be x equal to h, not x equal to k. So I repeat, axis of symmetry, x equal to h, not x equal to k. So yun. So dito, axis of symmetry, x equal to 1. That is the line which is called the x-axis of symmetry. Let us also have here the parabola that opens downward. Parabola that opens downward. The vertex is at what? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. -1, 4. -1, 4 is the vertex of the parabola. The y-intercept is at 3. And we have here two x-intercepts, -5 and +1. Right. And the axis of symmetry is x equals -1. So these are the properties of a parabola or quadratic functions. Let's continue. Identify the properties of the following quadratic functions. A. When the given function is in vertex form. So we have here the quadratic function in vertex form. Y is equal to 2 quantity x minus 4 squared minus 7. So what is h? H is 4 while k is -7. Okay. So pag minus yan, positive 4 yan. Positive 4. Pag plus 4 yan, -4 naman ang h. Pero yung k, ganun pa rin. Pag -7, -7 pa rin ang k. So the vertex is 4, -7. See? So pag x minus 4, h is positive 4. Pag x plus 4, h is -4. Pag k is minus 7 here, -7 pa rin. Mag-change lang ng sign dito sa h. Always remember that. So h is 4, k is -7. Therefore, the vertex is 4, -7. The domain is always a set of real numbers for any quadratic function. For the range, y is greater than or equal to -7. What is y -7? Because it's k. Y is greater than or equal to k. Right? For the range of quadratic function. Kung ano man yung k, y is greater than or equal to negative. Y greater than because a is positive. Ito. Pag -2 yan, less than naman yan ang range. Okay, can you follow? Axis of symmetry is x equals h. So, yan yung correction natin kanina. X equals h, so x equals 4. H is 4. Okay? Not x equals k. Ano yan? Opening upward since positive yung 2. Since positive yung a, the parabola opens upward. Minimum value. The minimum value is y equals or -7 pa rin. -7. The minimum value is -7, which is actually yung k. Okay? Y dapat pwede nating ano to. Sulat dyan. Y equals -7 is the minimum value of the parabola. Y is equal to 2 quantity x minus 4 quantity squared minus 7. Minimum value kasi yung parabola opens upward. So meaning there is a minimum value, the vertex below. Right? But if the parabola opens downward, the uh, the vertex is located upwards, so there is a maximum value. So for the upward parabola, there is a minimum value. For the downward parabola, there is a maximum value. Okay, remember that. Let's have another here. Identify the properties of the quadratic function given in standard, vertex form. Y equals negative 2 quantity x minus 2 squared plus 7. So we have here x minus 1. What do you think is the value of h? 1, correct. Positive 1 is the value. But if this is plus 1, negative 1 yung h. Now we have here plus 7. What do you think is the value of k? Still positive 7. Do not change the sign of k. Only the h. So therefore the vertex is 1, 7. Okay? So you can, when the quadratic function is in vertex form, you can immediately determine the vertex. Here, 1, 7. Next, domain, the set of all real numbers for a quadratic function. Now, how about the range? Range is y is less than or equal to k. And what is k? 7. Y less than because a is less than 0, negative siya. Pag negative yung a, less than din dito, yung range. Y is less than or equal to 7. But if it's positive, y is greater than or equal to 7. Next, axis of symmetry is x equals h. So x equals 1. Opening downward because a is positive. Negative. Negative 2. And the maximum value, since this is a parabola that opens downward, the vertex is at its most it is at its maximum value. So 7. Okay, accepted yung 7, but you can also say y is equal to 7. So in short, the maximum value, y is equal to k. Y is equal to k for the maximum or the minimum value. Okay. Now, let us describe the properties of a given quadratic function when the given function is in standard form. Okay. Ano yung mga standard form? Example, y is equal to negative x squared minus 4x plus 4. Okay, how can we determine the vertex, domain, and all the range, opening, the axis of symmetry when the given function is in standard form? Okay. Alam na natin pag naka-vertex form, mas madali. So, pag naka-standard form, we will use the formula for the vertex. So, let us first identify the value of a, negative 1, b, negative 4, c, 4. So that the vertex is h. The formula is negative b over 2a, while k is 4ac minus b squared over 4a. So, I'll give you 5 minutes to answer orally the vertex of the given function y is equal to negative x squared minus 4x plus 4. Okay, time's up. What is h? H is what? 2. Negative 2. H equals negative 2. Negative 4 all over 2 times negative 1. Negative 2. How about k? Substitute the value of a, c, b. Negative 4 times negative 1 times 4 minus negative 1 squared all over 4 times negative 1. Negative 16 minus 1, negative 17. Negative over negative 4. And that will become positive because both are negative. So therefore, the vertex is negative 2, 17 over 4. That means h is negative 2, k is positive 17 over 4. So what is the domain? The set of all real numbers for the quadratic function given. Range, since negative yung a, y is less than or equal to k. What is k? Yan, 17 fourths. Y is less than or equal to 17 over 4. How about the axis of symmetry? X is equal to h. What is h? Negative 2. X equals negative 2. Opening downward because a is less than 0. Negative siya. So opening downward. About the maximum value, y is equal to 17 over 4. Y is equal to k. Yun, 17 over 4 is the maximum value. Maximum value because the parabola opens downward. Okay, any question? Let's proceed to example 2. Given the graph, identify the following. Yan. So, as you can see, the parabola opens upward. So, it has a minimum value. So, for the vertex, for the y-intercept, 0, 7, or just simply 7. For the axis of symmetry, ito, the line that passes through the vertex, x equals 3. Yun. Opening upward, how about the zeros? Square root of 2 plus 3, negative square root of 2 plus 3. Which is also the same with the x-intercepts. Square root of 2 plus 3 is 0. Negative square root of 2 plus 3 is 0. Magkapareho yan eh. Yung zeros and x-intercepts. The vertex is at 3, negative 2. Yan. So that is how we identify the properties of quadratic function given the graph. How about the range? Meron tayong the domain pala. Domain, set of real numbers. How about the range? Range is y is greater than or equal to k. What is k? Y is greater than or equal to yun, negative 2 for the range. Okay, can you follow? Let's now go to exercises. Direction. State whether the parabola opens upward or downward. Right up if the quadratic equation opens upward, and down if it opens downward. Quadratic functions dapat yun. So answers. What's your answer for number 1? Very easy. Up. Parabola opens upward because positive yung A. Number 2, down because negative yung A. Number 3, up because positive yung A. Number 4, down because negative yung A. And number 5, up. Okay, very easy. Given the graphs, identify the following. A, vertex, x-intercept, y-intercept, zeros, or the x-intercept, pareho rin yan. Axis of symmetry, opening. So, for the number 1, vertex, you can see in the graph. Tama ba? Mali ha. Teka, 0. The vertex, 0, 3. Teka, mali yata to ah. X-intercept, 2, 0, 4, 0. Teka, wait. Mali yung vertex niya. The vertex should be 3, negative 2. Mali yung vertex. Palitan natin. Sorry about that. So, the vertex is located at the point 3, negative 2 in quadrant 4 here. 1, 2, 3 is negative 2. Yes. And for the x-intercept, the points of intersection between the parabola and the x-axis, 2, 0 and 4, 0, correct. And for the y-intercept, the parabola intersects the y-axis at 0, 16, or simply 16. For the x-intercepts, you can say 2 and 4. How about the zeros? 2, 4. Yes, 2, 4. How about the axis of symmetry? Axis of symmetry is x equals h. What is h? X equals negative 2. Mali naman. Wait. Excuse me. Escape. Axis of symmetry is x equals negative 2. X equals negative 2 kasi x equals h for the axis of symmetry. Wait. H is 3. I'm sorry for that. Negative 2 is k. So, should be x equals 3. X equals 3. Yan. Axis of symmetry is x equals h. So, x equals 3. Yun. The line x equals 3. Yan yung kanyang x axis of symmetry. Yan. And last, opening upward. Walang answer. Opening. The opening is upward. Okay, sorry about that. May mga mistake dito sa mga answers. Yan. So, tapos na tayo sa number 1. Given the graphs, identify the following. Number 2 naman. So, another parabola for number 2. What do you think is the vertex? 3,0. Oh, tama na yan. 3,0. X-intercept is also 3,0, only once. Touches only the x-axis once. So the vertex also the x-intercept. Y-intercept 0, 18 or 18 here. Zeros 3. Okay, same with the x-intercept 3. Axis of symmetry is x equals 3, x equals h is 3, k is 0. Upward, opens upward. How about the domain and range? What is the domain for this? Domain, the set of real numbers. How about the range? Y is greater than or equal to 0. In our previous graph, what is the domain here? Set of real numbers. How about the range? Y is greater than or equal to k. What is k? Negative 2. Y is greater than or equal to k. Yan. Upward. Now, keep the vertex, domain, range, axis of symmetry, minimum or maximum or minimum value, and the opening of the parabola of the given function. Okay, we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start with number 1. What is the vertex for number 1? 0, 1. Domain, set of real numbers. Range, y is less than or equal to negative 1. Axis of symmetry, x equals h or x equals 0. Minimum value. Okay. For number 1, dapat minimum. Opening downward. Maximum I should say. Maximum kasi na downward siya. No? Maximum is y is equal to k. K is y is equal to k. What is k? But 1 no. Maximum value. Maximum value is dapat negative 1. Dapat positive. Teka, meron tayong mistake dito. So, downward. Parang may mistake na. Okay, balikan natin mamaya. So, number 2, how about here? Number 2 muna. So, the vertex, negative 1, 0. Domain, set of real numbers. Y is greater than or equal to 0 for the range. X is equal to 1 for the axis of symmetry. Minimum, 0. Opening upward. Kasi positive siya. No? So, how did we solve for the vertex? Negative b over 2a for h. 4ac minus b squared over 4a for k. Right? Next, number 3. Okay, you can also verify your answers with my answer, and then we can explain. You can verify on another date. So for number 3, vertex is 2, 1. Domain, set of real numbers. Range, y is greater than or equal to 1. Axis of symmetry, x equals 2. Minimum 1. Minimum kasi opening upward. Next, number 4. Okay, it's given in the given function is in its vertex form, so no need to solve for the vertex using the formula. You can see here 1, 1, 2. 1, 2 is the vertex. Set of real numbers for the domain. Y is less than or equal to 2 for the range. X equals 1 for the axis of symmetry. Maximum is 2 downward. And for the last number, 0, 9 is the vertex domain. Real numbers, set of real numbers. Range Y is less than or equal to 2. Bakit to? Minimum 9. The post axis of symmetry is yun. Wait. Axis of symmetry is x equals 0. Minimum is 9. Minimum is 9 and it goes upward. Right? Okay, parang may mali tayo dito no sa here, number 1. Maximum should be 1. Right? Let's continue our exercises for the topic properties of quadratic function. Now this time we have here a multiple choice exercise. Read the statement carefully and write the correct answer before each number. Number 1. Which of the following equations represent a quadratic function? A, B, C, or D? What's your answer? A. Okay, only A represents a quadratic function. B is a linear. C cannot be kasi yung y ang na-square. Dito naman 2 raised to x baliktad. Only one, other A. About number 2, the zeros of quadratic function described by the graph is, what are the zeros? The zeros can also be described as the x-intercepts. What's your answer? The answer is B. Negative 1 and 3. Okay, negative 1, negative 3. Next, number 3, the quadratic function y equals negative 2x squared plus 4x minus 3 has blank. Real and unequal zeros. No real zeros. Real and equal zeros. Equal and not real. What's your answer? The answer is B. No real zeros. No real zeros. Okay, maybe it does not touch the x-axis. And if you're going to solve the quadratic equation here and you come up with the undefined answer or imaginary answers, then of course there are no real zeros. Next, number 4. What is an equation of a quadratic function whose zeros are twice the zeros of this? Okay, what are the zeros of 2x squared minus x minus 10? Then applying the sum and product of quadratic equation or function. Then what will be your answer here? The answer is D. Y equals x squared minus x minus 20. Okay. You can verify your answer. Next, number 5. Which of the following shows the graph of y equals 2x squared minus 5? Okay. So that means the vertex is 0, negative 5. 0, negative 5. So what's the answer? B. Tama. 0, negative 5 is the vertex. You can see that in the equation. Okay, thank you very much for listening. We will proceed to the next topic, that is rewriting a quadratic function. Goodbye. See you next time.